Good morning and welcome to a fresh week on Jasiri. I hope you're ready for an exciting episode today because we are. But first, a special announcement. Our French lingua co-host, Kat, is taking a break this week. But no worries though. You know, sometimes we talk about the script, compliment the script, shout the producer. Well, the chef who spices up the show will be joining us and taking her place temporarily.
Anyway, she usually likes to be behind the scenes, wielding her producer powers, whispering in our ears, it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Anyway, now way. Yeah. Welcome back to the table. My sister, daughter of my mother, Bukola, Oloyede.
Daughter of your mother.
Yes. Well, mother of my daughter. As long as mother and daughter are there. Put it in the right.
You get the sense of it all. She's so possessive of Buki. She doesn't even know what she is to her.
No, but you know sometimes you have people that you actually like a lot. And you look at them like, oh, Buki is one of those people.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She's actually staring at her now. So it's obvious.
Well, thank you for inviting me back to the Jasiri table.
And don't speak too much English. We already have one bougie side. Don't let me be the only Raz one because this one too tries.
You know, me and Tolu actually think our minds are so in sync. Do you know that?
Oh, we know in all the places. Oh, I totally know all the places they sync.
How was the weekend? Very quickly. You want to start spinning secrets on
my weekend was actually exciting. I wanted to go. I went for Dotu's birthday on Friday, but they said the birthday was starting at 6. I got there like 8. I thought I was even going to meet the beginning, but the party didn't start until about 12.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go home because I've had a very, very exhausting day. So that really hurt when I woke up the next morning and the party was all over.
I saw the party, yeah.
It was quite a lit party.
And do you know that they brought my clothes and Easy forgot my shoes? So and I had a short dress. So you know what I want on Friday. So I was already in that mode. So I guess everything worked together for me to just go home
and rest.
Yes, but on Saturday I had a restful home day. I went for my meeting in the morning, but Sunday was the highlight of my entire week. I went for Sip and Pain. Meet your newest artist.
She went to where?
For Sip and Pain.
Oh, how was it?
Oh, it was so lovely. Honestly, it was therapeutic. I think something
we need to go.
Yeah.
I think we need to go.
I've never done it. I'm not talking about the paintings. The sip part I'm interested in.
Yeah, the sip is good, and it was beautiful. I was with like a mature crowd. It was very small but cute, and my painting was so nice.
Ladies, we're doing our own sip and paint. Lolo cannot be the only one having this experience. Very quickly, bless this, because I got some stories. Well, I think mine was exciting. I hosted an event over the weekend, and the souvenir I got made me say, I must be rich in this life. I must have money. I was just doing wow. You know when they say, don't show yourself, don't pretend like, just pretend like you've seen it before. I saw you when you opened the box, I was like, wow. I was just, when they even brought the box, I was like, what are we traveling? I said, no, that's your souvenir. I'm like, wow. The person that went with me is behave yourself. I'm trying. It was good. Buki, should I ask?
It was busy as usual. I didn't actually get much rest. I was working most of the time. Not much to divulge this morning.
But it's okay because when you have fun, it's too much.
Lolo, you know we're having fun this weekend.
It's my birthday.
Somebody's birthday is coming up. Well, let's do this show on the road. We have a whole week to plan for that. Now, I want us to start off with a story that is both inspiring and daring. Nigerian chess master and advocate for children's education, Tunde Onakoya, has broken the Guinness World Record for the longest chess marathon. He played continuously for an astounding 60 hours in New York City's Times Square. And although his attempt is pending confirmation by Guinness, we Nigerians already see him as a national hero. And Tunde's goal was to raise $1 million to support children without access to education across the continent through the game of chess. Man, this is so beautiful.
Our hero.
Really
but
beautiful.
You know what I enjoyed the most? The fact that Nigerians are such troopers. They were there. I saw a Gongo player. You know, everybody was just... he was
People showed up. David showed up to support him.
Adekule Gold.
Oh,
It was,
my
it's
God.
really amazing. And he was ill during this time as well. He was throwing up.
He's
Yeah,
actually
he was
lost his
ill.
voice because I spoke to his management. He's completely voiceless right now. Everybody wants to talk to him, but right now he's recuperating and everything. So even though he wanted to raise $1 million, he did raise the equivalent of about 131 million naira. And it's really nice to see. He had so many opponents during this time. And he also had that opponent, coach Shawn Martinez.
Yes.
Yeah. What was so special about him?
Oh, he's a chess master as well.
Wow.
He's a U.S. national chess master.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a trooper, and you know we should also credit him as well because
So, well, apparently
You need two people to play the game.
Yeah, they actually made the record together because according to the plan, initially Tunde was supposed to play with certain chess masters, right? So he started with him, I think, and then at some point he decided, you know what, let's go together, let's do this together, and it's just so beautiful to see. And I saw that Tunde complimented and thanked him because he couldn't have done it on his own. So yeah.
We love you in Nigeria, baby.
Lolo would like to have your babies.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Let me not 50 cents.
Well, all right. The Igbo baby will not be bad. It's a retirement plan.
I just want to beg Nigerians though, they should not do what they did during Hilda Bass's time.
It's so
They would have go to Guinness.
Just wait. We have a plan.
We have a plan. That's how you say booking was.
They really do think alike.
So one thing about Tunde, who is 29, is that he credits chess for saving him from the overwhelming poverty that he faced growing up in Lagos's infamous floating slums. And you know, that's what he has done. When you talk about really giving back, Tunde is the embodiment of that.
Yeah.
He's gone back to the slums, be it Makoko, be it different areas, and he's teaching these kids. And who would have thought that it was a game that would open up so many horizons?
In fact, there was a video that I saw. I was looking for that video so we could play it, and it was two kids that he had adopted.
The brother and sister.
Yes,
that
and he adopted, and you can see the transformation. I think that video for me totally embodies everything that he's about. You can see his heart in the video. You can see you can see the love. You know, and I mean, for him to be able to do this on a world stage and get this sort of acknowledgement and accreditation, I think it's just beautiful to see it come full circle.
It is.
It is. It absolutely is.
Cindy, we can't wait to have you home.
Honestly, that homecoming is going to be lit.
Everything.
Who's going to be there?
New Central.
Yeah, of course. And don't you want to say something about yourself?
No,
Honestly,
I said we'll make
think-
Amala for you.
I think that we need to get to a place. I mean, we're doing good when it comes to recognition of, you know, not just talent now, but people doing great things, right? I think we need to get to a better place where we can recognize people doing things without them going the extra mile. Because I was just thinking, if Tunde didn't say he wanted to break the record, so many people would still not have known him. But this guy has been doing a lot for a long time. So I think we need to look more into people doing. They don't have to try and get attention from the world before we now try. You know, they're not say, oh, this is our own. When it's now going, you know, a lot of people posted him that didn't post him before. But now that is getting world recognition, they're like, oh, our own. We congratulate you. Now we need to do better.
Wow, you're really thinking
So Chucky's going to take us to a break, but when we come back, there's a lot of our own in the next segment.
Well, congratulations to Tunde Onakoya. Nigeria is proud of you, and we know that this will only amplify the work that you do in Nigeria and across the globe.
Yeah.
You said something about, oh, Nigerians are not going to come up with good works again. Well, hold that thought. But we'll take a short break. When we do come back, Catch Up Monday returns on Jasiri. Welcome back. Now remember, we are streaming live on our social media platforms. We're at New Central TV. Please use the hashtag Jasiri to be part of the conversation so we know you're watching. Now, I am sure between the break and now, the chances are that another Nigerian has announced their attempt to set some kind of record. I think it was immediately after Hilda Baci, right, that after her cookathon, suddenly Nigerians went into a frenzy. We were seeing all kinds of athons.
Yes.
There was a woman who said she was staying indoors for the longest time. Another one said they were doing kiss-a-thon.
And let's not forget.
That's it on.
No, the other cookathon.
But it's really hard to keep up with all these attempts, guys. It's really hard. What have you seen, Tolu?
So there's just a lot, and we want to go and do a deep dive because not 48 hours after Tunde Onakoya broke his record or set a record, because there's a difference. You can break a record, or you can reach out to Guinness and say you want to set a record that will then be broken. Isaac Gerald, a famous Nigerian singer, and I think he was in a singing reality competition, announced on his Instagram page that he is attempting the longest singing marathon, a sing-a-thon for 110 hours. So Nigerian music lovers, get your ginger, your honey, your lozenges, and be ready for this 110 hours singing. But of course, you know what we saw with Chef Hilda, and of course with Tunde, you'll have 10 minutes breaks here and there. How many? I don't know in how many hours.
Tunde was 5-minute break every hour.
Yes, and then you can do bathroom breaks. So there are spaces and gaps, but the whole thing must eventually hit 110.
But you know, Isaac is a singer. I call him a singer. He's a singer. So he will be riffing and rapping and.
But you should sing. You should ask us for some.
I'm not even going to lie. It's not everything that you can do an athon for. Right? It's not. I don't. Well, the Lord is his muscle. I've seen crazy ones. Did you see the cry-a-thon?
Oh, I saw that.
It wasn't even cry. A guy was wailing. He was literally wailing.
But I would like to.
For how long?
He
wanted to do 100, and then there was the lady who was doing the massage. Athon.
But she collapsed now.
Yes,
she did.
She did. No,
you're laughing. Somebody collapsed and you're laughing. So let me add this to it. Now, of course, you know, we also can't forget, just this weekend, a lady successfully sliced vegetables for 72 hours non-stop, thereby setting the Guinness World Record for the longest marathon slicing vegetables. Anita Chinyere got approval from Guinness last month for the attempt, and over the weekend, she completed her attempt as well. Now, before Nigerians say, waiting be all of this, there are some really weird records on hand. Longest fingernails on a pair of hands.
That was
most Big Macs consumed in a lifetime.
That's gluttony.
Longest time spent playing video games continuously, which was 138 hours.
That's joblessness.
You know, there's also the longest time balancing on one foot in high heels. 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 5 seconds. So really, let people make their attempts.
Honestly, me, I'm all about the fun. At least she sliced vegetable into global recognition.
She sliced vegetables into global record.
Wow. Tolu, what have you done?
What have I done with my life?
What you done?
No. Tolu should do
be careful.
brownie-a-thon.
Somebody was doing the longest interview-a-thon recently.
I was going to say we should do, yes, I saw that.
Yes.
I was going to say we should do longest talk show-a-thon. Whatever.
Don't put ideas I beg you, please, do not put ideas into somebody's head.
Let us have it, and let's clinch the, I want to be celebrated.
No, but I won't lie. Growing up, I used to.
Yeah. I'm on the table now. So Dr. Ose Etiebio, that name has something in my tongue. So he had this tweet, right? And it was after Tunde's. It was after Tunde's success.
Yeah.
He had this tweet saying, when Tunde finally breaks the chess record, please can other Nigerians and Africans allow the record breathe for some years?
Too late.
We start seeing Ludo-cathon, Ayo-cathon, Suwe-cathon,
But you know, that breathing thing, you know, it came up when it happened with Hilda Bassi, and especially when it came to another Nigerian country. I think it was when a Ghanaian chef, and there was a Kenyan chef as well. And you know, the thing is, you just never think about it. So when somebody else does it, you're like, oh, this is really possible. And people hold the weirdest Guinness World Record for record for the strangest things. Let people, there's a young boy, when we talk about strange things, there's a young Nigerian boy who holds a lot of records for Guinness World Records, which have highlighted him as. So there are good ones and there are bad ones, and people can do whatever they want. What's the recognition? A year, 6 months?
But you know how much, Chef Dam, you know how much backlash you got, Chef Dam. I mean, forget all the other stuff, all the other theatrics, but it's just, if somebody can do it, I think it should be inspiration enough for somebody else to try.
Yeah, but
that really is
not a weird
packaging level.
Not a weird, with bouncers.
The packaging and Chef Tammy and
But she was prepared. She talked to the Guinness World Records people. She knew what she needed to do.
Did she?
No, I'm talking about Hilda.
Okay, no, I was talking about them. Yeah.
That flag is going to come because you just wake up, you want to set a record that you don't know how you're supposed to set. You need to contact them. There needs to be somebody on hand.
Yeah.
There's monitoring of it. So
Hilda Bassi said she prepared for it for like a year.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to say that Guinness World Record maybe should start to filter, right? Because I know that growing up, I used to be intrigued. I literally was reading the book at the time, and it was so exciting. So for me, the most exciting ones are the ones that people are not trying to do anything. Maybe someone born with the longest teeth or someone with something. It was just really exciting, and for me it was like, oh, these people are getting recognition. They might be getting criticized for the way they look, but at least Guinness World Record is recognizing them. So I would love it if it's more natural, but then again there are also good ones like what Tunde did, you know, the Hilda Bassi thing, but there's some ones that are very, very unnecessary.
Who are you to decide what to do or not?
Well, I want to set a kiss.
No, it is true though, because
and some are very risky.
Stop it.
If someone is doing that already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
no, but it was cancelled now because it was a Nigerian that wanted to do that kiss-a-thon.
She didn't get
I saw someone saying they wanted to do a sex-a-thon. A guy, yes.
Not that bad.
Yeah, the guy was asking how many ladies are interested because he wanted to do a sex-a-thon. Yeah.
With multiple.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Moving on.
Anyways, we move on to serious matters now. It's not like Tunde's win is not serious, it's very serious. But sadly, hundreds of residents in several communities in Lagos, including, someone help me.
The producer that put it there. The producer that put it there should help you.
Look at the way she's staring like Otoilogbo. Okay, including Otoilogbo extension in Ebutemeta have been rendered homeless after their houses were demolished by Lagos State, allegedly without prior notice. And this is not the first time we're hearing this. Now, the demolition is part of a Lagos urban regeneration project aimed at addressing vulnerabilities in flood-prone communities and improving infrastructure. Residents expressed shock and grief over the sudden demolition, with some describing it as a nightmare and others calling for compensation from the state government. Community leaders and advocacy groups have also demanded dialogue and accountability from the authorities, urging them to address the grievances of the affected residents accordingly.
Wow. This happened on Friday, March the 22nd. And it's a sprawling community that's situated underneath the bridges and flyovers located between Ido and extending to the National Theatre area, which is always a beehive of human activities. Now, the once bustling community has now become a deserted area with rubble, broken blocks of demolished buildings, and much more. There's a lot, but when you go further into this story, there's a point that was made there that is very interesting to me. So they've said that the government officials, including the chairman of the Lagos Mainland Local Government, that's Rasheedat Essien, and the Director of Public Affairs, Lagos State Building Control Agency, Olusegun Oloyede, claimed they were not informed about the demolitions and denied involvement.
That's very interesting.
How?
How do you just move a bulldozer without anyone's say so? Just like how they said we did not send the army to the Lekki gates.
Yeah. Again, I think
that who mobilized?
Yeah. Again, I think that it boils down to accountability, because this is not the first time. Like I said, there was a story one time that, you know, residents were saying we weren't told, and then they came out and said we told them. Okay, where's the document? Where's the letter that you sent? We didn't get anything. You're saying you told them. Let's see the proof. They're saying you didn't tell them, and then you're using that as the evidence you have, but we didn't even see proof of anything.
But you know, when I see cases like this, and it's so obvious that this is just a blatant disregard to human lives, properties, and even human kindness, these are where some legal juggernauts are supposed to make their mark. You know, get a class action suit against the government and make a name. You know, let everybody know that barrister Obatide David has come to fore, because you know, you be representing a very marginalized and disenfranchised and totally
You're looking for another word.
Yes.
But
the thing is, this is when I actually believe that people should stand up and get something for people. When people keep thinking about what you can do for posterity, it's not really about what you can gain for yourself. Imagine the lives you will change. When you stand in the forefront and say, no, This cannot happen. This is a state that is governed by law and the rule of law.
Okay. Last week, there were also houses demolished in Maryland. You know that place
floodplain.
Yes.
We agree.
We need to talk about.
We
I
agree.
need to talk about location.
I understand that, but however, somebody signed off.
Wait, show us the document somebody signed off. I absolutely agree.
A lot of
people you know when you start building, even if you haven't gotten building permission, whatever, when you start building, people show up.
Yes.
People show up. If they see you don't have documentation, they will put a link.
Yes.
Stop. Whatever. People show up. So you can't wait until the whole building has gone up. People have collected money. They've collected brown envelopes. They've gone away with their thing. It's unfair. I get it. It's law and it's all of that nonsense. But it's unfair to expect people who have paid rent, built their houses. You know, okay, forget the ones that have built their houses, bought land, paid rent. You know, it's unfair.
So we know that. I absolutely agree and I understand. And one of the things I'm waiting for Lagos State to do is to bring out those people, be it in town planning, be it in Lagos Building Control Agency, who are absolutely putting their signature on these things and letting the law be flouted. I agree with that. But we also need to understand what we're talking about. We're talking about transportation, healthcare, green space, drainage, water. A lot of times you look at some of these places in Lagos, some of these floodplains that are being filled in and houses are being built. What happens when those houses are built? Guess what? When the rains come, guess who else pays? People down the road pay. They lose their livelihoods. Some people lose their lives. We've seen a situation in Lagos where people are carried away by the water. And some of that is because of these houses and buildings built in the wrong place. So we have so many wrongs.
I understand that.
Of course, I know that.
Where do they go?
I'm not even saying that.
Where do they go? Don't you add to the miscreants on the streets?
Have you noticed?
Don't you add to the under-bridge people? Where do they go?
They were building under the bridge. Are you supposed to build under the bridge?
So mine is, why allow it in the first place? If people were not collecting bribes, if people were not collecting bribes for it, they would have stopped it.
They have to have a forward-thinking plan.
In my mind,
look at this thing happening at Landmark. Shebi, we're just talking about, do you know they demolished? If you pass there every night now, they are now going to even demolish some more because of the coastal road that they are making room for. But you see all those malams, they are always loitering, not in twos, I mean in 20s and in 30s. On the side of the road, if you are driving, you are very afraid. If they do not have a relocation plan for these people, even if it is just somewhere that everybody.
But Lagos will tell you, why am I responsible for relocating people who should not be where they are in the first place?
Then don't allow them be there. That's the thing. Don't let them be there.
Let me share something I saw.
I want to drop this line before you say it. It's in my playing in my head. I got to drop this line. If you are going to remove and demolish those people, excavate the people in office too.
So something happened over the weekend, and somebody, a building somewhere in Lekki, they have a green space in front of them. And all of a sudden, people came and started building on the green space. Like, they started building on the green space. The guy tweeted at the Lagos Commissioner for Tokunbo Wahab. Within hours, they were there breaking it down. They're looking for the people. Why are you building on a protected green space? Who gave you the audacity? Where does the audacity come from? The audacity comes from the fact that there are people in government
that are collecting money.
Don't worry, just start.
Start. Because I don't believe that someone would just go somewhere, find an empty land, and then, let's just, when it's not Abraham, God has given us this land, just start building. There's somebody who is collecting the money, so stop it at the inception. Don't allow it to, because for it to have gone that, and even for years, they didn't just complete the building, they've lived there for years. That means people keep coming and getting money.
But they did say they were aware that Lagos State said they were going to demolish, but they were not given notice of when the demolitions would happen. And that's something for me. Even if you're saying you're in a legal structure, you need to go. Let people take things.
Give them time.
We've tried it. By the time you let people take things, it becomes something else.
Because chaotic.
No, so the thing is, if you're telling them, let it be documented so that you have proof. So when they come and say, oh, you didn't say, oh, we gave you this letter so day, we gave you another warning. So then you're justified.
If you take it to court, they can also argue. You don't have to see the letter before it is relevant. If they've dropped it somewhere,
don't let me bring my weaker out. Because no matter how bad a situation is, there's always a defense in it.
So what's the defense?
For those that can find it. You know, I have to consult.
No, but I believe that there has to be proof of something. If not,
do you know that no matter how it is, there's always a difference in law?
Okay.
Because there are so many things you can actually prove. It's just like saying common law marriage. Just the fact that you guys have cohabited for a couple of years, it can get you one or two things in law. So even these people, the number of years they spent in that place will count for something.
At least in America, you can't throw out squatters.
Yes.
Let's not go there. Let's not
Teach anybody.
Squatters now have more rights than the people who own the building. Anyway, we're going to go for a quick break. And when we return, Catch Up Monday continues right here on Jasiri. There's a lot more arguments and disturbing the peace that we're going to do. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Remember, we are streaming live on all social media platforms at New Central TV. Don't forget to use the hashtag Jasiri to be part of the conversation. Our next story takes us all the way to Abuja, where a Chinese-owned supermarket located at China General Chamber of Commerce is being called out for denying entry to Nigerians and restricting access exclusively to individuals of Chinese descent. This discriminatory policy has sparked outrage among residents and social media users, with many expressing disbelief and frustration over the situation. Security personnel at the supermarket confirmed the directive from the chamber's management, which was implemented at the beginning of the year without providing any reason at all. By the way, let's hear what the guy would say.
That's the place, that's the building. So apparently, yeah, we've been want to try enter the place, maybe know how far. But we heard that now our Nigerian people, now then they sell baby. They are the ones selling in there. So if we go there, they might lose their job. Me, I was thinking we should just go and try they will sell for us or not. But the security have explained things to us, and I think it's going to be wise. I don't want our people that are there working. They say even if they sell for us now, it will backfire on them. I mean, that's what they said. That's what they said. So we will not go to inside there. We don't want to force ourselves inside the supermarket, so it's not cause issues. So for now, we just confirm that, okay, you cannot go in as a Nigerian. Okay, they said that it's from January. They stopped allowing Nigerians to buy things since from January, so you cannot enter. It's only for Chinese people. So that's what we have confirmed it, and it's true. So that's it.
Elsie, how do you feel about this? Since you are not happy.
I feel devastated.
In Cardi B's voice, what was the reason?
In my own country.
What was
the reason?
And honestly, the day we begin to know that we have worth, these are things. What is the Ministry of? I don't even know who I should call on. Is it
Ministry of Interior?
It's not Nigerians in diaspora. Or is it Ministry of Interior? Is it Foreign Affairs Ministry? Because there are some things that are just done with impunity, without any regard. You are here in our country. You are running a business in our country.
Using Nigerians as staff.
And yet Nigerians cannot go in there. It's a different thing if you went in there and you were unruly. And they asked you to go, which they can do at any supermarket. Or you go in there and you steal. But that Nigerians cannot just go in there and make purchases.
I understand
don't
way.
If they're collecting yuan and dollars.
But is it
inside
illegal
Okay,
to do what?
Is it illegal for them to say we're only serving our people?
It should be. If it's not,
Is it illegal?
if it's not, it
I
should be.
understand
about moral. I'm not talking about
I understand the reason
moral.
Buki is
it
asking, because
illegal?
in this same Lagos that we're in, there are clubs that deny people entry.
Yes.
No, if you wear
Just by the way you look.
So it's the way you look.
Is it
I'm
illegal?
not
But based on
but it's a
national, and I want to believe
And
that
that's
it
also
is. I want to believe
discrimination.
that
Yes,
it
it
is,
is.
because there was a time when I think, was it another Chinese restaurant was shut down because they were not allowing Nigerians entry. So if they could do that, then I want to believe there's somewhere in the law that says that they can't do that.
It's interesting that, so this is, interesting enough, this happens everywhere. So because of the Ukraine war, we saw a number of Ukrainians going to, I can't remember, one island country or something. And then they would get there and they would buy beachfront property that were public beaches. And then and they said that nationals cannot pass. Like people cannot, other people, once you're not Ukrainian or you're not Russian, they're all hiding from the war, you can't pass. And so people started demonstrating, how can you come to my country, deny me access to a public beach? You've only bought a certain amount of the land. You're not saying we can't pass, that it's only for you guys. You own a restaurant and you only say it's only for you guys. It can't work.
Don't we buy Chinese food?
But is it not their
prerogative?
property?
No.
We need to research into the
I think we shouldn't speculate. What I'm trying to say is that we can have public outcry and be like, this is wrong, you're in my country, you're in this and that.
But not based on morality.
But you know, it's like, what is the legal standing?
If you're providing a public
on this?
service, if you've decided that you want to sell to the public.
Yes, but they can decide which public they want to
Okay,
sell
so
to.
for better
They're not the
context of
embassy.
what I was saying.
Like,
That's understandable. Yes, there has to be a legal backing.
There's a huge Chinese community in Nigeria. A huge Chinese community.
In Nigeria.
Yes, I understand.
But do you know Chinese people live in Yanopaja?
We turn it into a bilateral relations thing. All Chinese people should not enter any. What are we talking about?
Okay, so for better context of what I was saying earlier, in March 2020.
We publicly outcrying.
Yes.
We need to consider what is the legal standing.
Yes,
and
so
are they in their legal right to say we will serve who we choose to serve?
I'm calling on Barrister.
Yes, so I said something earlier.
Consult the volume of books.
Can I give my context?
I let Blessings talk, please. Sorry, Blessings. I'm so sorry.
I'm feeling marginalized right now.
I feel you. I really feel you when I'm
If you wait too long, we'll start talking again.
Okay, so I was saying something earlier, right? I just want to give better context. Now, in March 2020, the federal government ordered the closure of Hofei Chinese restaurant in Victoria Island, Lagos, for allegedly refusing Nigerians access. That's why I was saying that if it happened like that, it means that there has to be a legal backing somewhere. Now, the agency shut down the restaurant for alleged discrimination, noting that restaurant staffers admitted that it was the business policy of the Chinese owners not to allow Nigerians into the restaurant. So that means that they can shut it down.
And I know that they can. I'm not saying that they can't. It happens, so obviously they can shut it down. But as you know, government can take unilateral decisions to do whatever they want. But whether or not there is a legal backing for it. What I'm saying is there a legal backing for this?
So, but if there is no legal backing, can't they fight it? Yes, can they fight it if the government does it?
They
can't fight it.
Who's going to fight government like that?
The Chinese will fight. Is it their government?
There are two things. What we're expecting is that the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission will somehow get involved. There are videos. The security guard was caught on camera acknowledging that this is a policy that started in January. It'd also be interesting to find out why the policy changed. Why the policy changed from before January 2024 till now. So that's one. Then also looking at the international business, there are a lot of Chinese businesses in Nigeria. There are a lot of Nigerians who do businesses in China.
My friend is in China at the moment, Cara Willis.
But let me ask Lolo. Tolu said that, something changed because they started in January. So is it not possible that, let's say there's a legal something and they want to shut it down? And yes, can't they argue that maybe Nigerians come and then they just pilfer here and there, or they litter or something?
Yes, there must have been something.
There must be
like,
something.
There's a reason, maybe the vandalization, thievery, there's so many things that could have gone wrong and they need to forestall for a little while. But
so based on that, they can fight it?
Well, yes, those are some of the things that I shall pull out from my book.
we will go into Barrister Omobowale David Chambers.
You give me another name, I will sue you for the family. Omobowale. Are you renaming me?
Or what you are trying to add?
Your name is
we will consult with our other legal experts, and tomorrow we'll have an update because it's something that we're going to continue to follow. We'll try to also reach out to those who posted the videos to see if there have been any official complaints. So yes, I do appreciate the fact that for a while the FCC PC under Tunde Onakoya, they would take complaints from Twitter. They wouldn't necessarily wait for an official complaint. Once something was on social media and it made an impact, they would go after it. So we hope to see that the new person who's in charge of the FCC PC will look into this. And if they are legally able to do this, educate us.
Yeah.
Educate Nigerians on this.
Yeah.
And so we can We can all decide.
We can rest.
We can rest.
Shall be a part of the legal team.
Lolo rest.
Unravel.
Lolo rest.
But you know, I mean, apart from the Chinese food that you think eat Chinese, the actual Chinese food is they have some weird stuff that they eat though.
I won't say
As long as sushi is not
who's going to
one.
that. Can you read what is on the? Can you read what is on the pack?
I went with
I
Chinese. Buy
heard
the wrong
some
thing.
Chinese people swallowing some tiny, you know, like what we call yo-yo.
No.
Your
Those that
fish,
tiny
yeah.
fish, the tiny one.
Yeah,
They would
like
actually,
eel,
there's a
like a
glass of
tiny
it, you
eel.
can drink it.
I went to a
Live
Chinese restaurant
Lolo
one
stop.
time, and then they gave me the menu. I just wanted to explore, be adventurous, and they gave me the menu. And I was hoping that they would help me understand the menu. And then I called the Nigerian staffers, you know, and they were like, "Madam, we don't know. Is this woman that understands? Okay, does she speak English? Small, okay, call her for me." This one she honestly could not tell me what I was going to eat. And then I just started, you know, depending on the pictures, okay, just give me this. Let me just say it was a terrible experience.
Wow.
Maybe your palate was just not
elevated,
Elevated
enough.
enough.
Or, you know, you should have left
jollof
it
rice on my
standard.
manjana at chin chin.
No.
Chin
See,
chin.
let me tell you
Don't
guys.
add jollof rice,
I
but you got it at the party.
I had a birthday party once at a Chinese restaurant, and this is very quick, so we can move on. At a Chinese restaurant, my cousin came, and she looked at the food on the table. She looked at the menu. She looked at me, and she said, "They don't have rice and stew."
Hi.
That's me.
No, Nigerians
That's
are not
me.
adventurous. That's not necessarily them. Let's move on now. Question here. Which way Nigerian politicians? Ladies, this next story will raise, who's wearing a wig? Will raise Blessing's wig.
Not today.
And not just your eyebrows.
I can't do that today.
A forensic audit of Abia State's coffers conducted by an audit firm revealed that the immediate past government approved funds to contractors for the construction of non-existent state-owned airports and other infrastructure. Now, Governor Alex Oti disclosed this during a presentation at Johns Hopkins University, highlighting the challenges of governance and economic transition. The audit uncovered alarming findings, including payments totaling 107.2 billion naira to 72 contractors for projects that were either not executed or lacked supporting documents. Oti emphasized the importance of accountability and transparency in governance, attributing corruption and mismanagement to the impoverishment of states and erosion of public trust. He also discussed the debt burden inherited from previous administrations, underscoring the need for prudent financial management and effective governance practices. Y'all, I listened though. I listened to what Governor Oti had to say. I hope we have the video of where he was speaking. And this is one state, Abia State. You can imagine how this is being replicated
In the other 36 states.
across Nigeria.
I have one question.
Kino.
Hey, so sorry, I'm trying to channel my inner.
Catherine,
Wow, that is the chair.
Hey, in fact, this is the
Residual
chair. I
friends
have
is
one
there.
question, which is, doesn't it seem a bit odd that this is being disclosed outside of the country? I mean, like, I know that this news, I mean, we're seeing a lot of spates of EFCC is going after this one. Yaya Bello is on the wanted list. You know, we have all kinds of things coming up now. But I'm just wondering, like, to go outside and divulge this kind of information, because it is something that the ex-governor can be held accountable for,
And he should
by the EFCC.
Of course he should.
Right? It's fraud. It's embezzlement. It's whatever you want to call it. It's another better edu situation here. So, but why is it out?
Is it that we
There's a
have
wisdom
international
there,
monitoring?
Because sometimes we've known that a lot of things that are disclosed within our
just
own
rub it.
with some things we just palliatives
give
and
it
rubbing and
pancake.
everything we just pancake it. But you know, sometimes when you put something on an international stage, you might be forcing their hand. That might be forcing people's hand that do the right thing, because this is a lot of allegations against the past government. And we're talking about a lot of money here that can do the country a lot of good.
The states. You know,
The states
I
itself.
say it a lot. Nigeria has a reputation internationally for having some of the most expensive public contracts for infrastructure and things. That's because of inflation. Contract inflation. If something is actually maybe worth 5 billion, by the time it gets to somebody's table, it's 15 billion.
25.
You have situations where contractors are given money, but they need to also, you know,
They need to
settle everybody.
So a contract worth, or something that's supposed to be valued at maybe 10 billion, at the end of the day, they maybe spent 5 billion to do the job.
Of course.
Then we're shouting because public infrastructure is not lasting. How can it last when half the money has gone into private hands?
And when you see things, and you know that in Nigeria, manifestos never change. I wonder whether we don't see it. It's the same things year in, year out. They just word it slightly different. It's still, we will provide you water, we will provide you healthcare, water,
we provide you good roads.
By now, we should be seeing, we should be
expect to hear it in 2027 as well.
And the thing is, not just the manifesto, it's also going into the budget.
Of course.
So they're planning it into the budget, but we're not seeing anything.
But accountability in this country is something they need to send some people to Harvard to learn. Because I do not think that everything, it can't just be going over their heads. Because what people are asking for is just proper documentation and accountability. I remember when they were talking about all those bureaucracies of following the rule of law and when contracts are to be given, there are some things that they need to follow.
Yes, there are lines, public procurement, you put it in newspapers, you do public bidding.
But all those things are not done the way they should be done. That is why these things will continue to happen. And this disgrace on
John Hopkins University.
And this, whether we like it or not, let me tell you, is bringing discriminations for Nigerians all across the world.
No, we are our biggest problem.
We no longer have a good
Someone said he was having an interview. I was listening to a radio station as I was coming. And he said that he was having an interview, like online interview. I scaled past the first one. This was the second one that will bring him into the room. And the moment he mentioned that it was Nigeria, he said he heard a dead silence on the other side. And that, of course, things started to go south from there. We're losing credibility across the world. And we don't deserve, some people don't deserve this.
No,
Nigerians deserve not carry the cross of mismanagement of their nation.
I want to also make one point, and I think maybe people will say, Momenta no more, but I have to say it. Governors will change. Who is powering corruption in this country? Civil servants. Why are people quiet? Governors will change. But who powers corruption? It's not the governors that are going to go and put inflated costs. It's not governors in all situations. There might be very special situations. But majority of situations, they just come and sign. Governor just sign, just do this, don't worry.
But these civil servants that you put on cadres, and their salary is next. You know, sometimes we're the ones that encourage people. Corruption. If you do the right, how can somebody leave school?
No, is there an excuse?
It's not an excuse.
So in Nigerians,
it's just like saying that police service is bad. When they are buying their own uniforms, there will always be that human. We're animals basic. The basic animalistic instinct in everybody comes out when there is terror, hunger, and some other, extrinsic reasons that make people act out their animalistic tendencies. When people are hungry, what do you want them to do?
Maslow did not say it was a hierarchy of needs for no reason. What was the hierarchy? Shelter, clothing, food, what else?
Security.
So we continue to live. I understand what she's saying. I don't ever want to say it's an excuse, but I fully understand. The human mind and human wants are complex. But when you cannot provide me health care, my children, I'm struggling to send them to school. I'm taking a road that has a pothole. Every time it rains, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to come back with my car. When I see you people doing what you do, I'm going to want to take a little while, take a bit of the national cake as well.
The
doesn't help at the end of the day.
Corruption has been taught to us from when we were children.
I'm telling you.
So a lot of times it is a cultural norm. We grew up with it, whether we like it or not. If you don't, even we that are sitting on this, if you don't catch yourself,
and to be honest,
doing the right thing, you just say, well, take 5 naira, go and give it to your teacher.
To be honest, there's also a culture of lack that we're so used to lack in this country that when you now see something, for you to allow it to just pass by, it will pinch you. Even if you want to have that integrity, your wife will be like, what is wrong with you? Are you the only person? Because everybody's just, we're accustomed to lack. So when we see something that is not the norm, if we were living fine in this country, maybe it would have been reduced.
I'm accustomed to wealth. I'm
accustomed to wealth. All right. Money
wealth. I don't understand lack. Anyway, our final catch-up leads me to Nollywood.
Yeah.
Right. Nollywood. Lolo's Wood. Nollywood actress and filmmaker Toyin Abraham recently extended the hand of friendship and peace to her colleague Funke Akindele after years of bitter rivalry between the two. Now, it's a very long read, but in a heartfelt Instagram post, On Sunday evening, Toyin said she was reflecting on the intense competition in the Yoruba movie industry that led to camps and enmity among actors. She acknowledged the negative impacts of professional gossip and hearsay, which exacerbated the discord in the industry between herself and Akindele. And she's saying, sister, we love, let us share love. There is enough space for everybody. The fact that we are in the same industry and we're competing doesn't mean that we have to compete negative enough. The sky is big enough. And then at the end of her post, she was like, I owe you one post in December.
Because she's expecting to come out with another blockbuster movie.
Film.
Yeah, she's going to come up with another. She's going to come, my sister.
But first, am I living under a rock? I never knew they were fighting.
No, you see, there are some things that are not
just
fights. Yes. It's just that this industry just forestalls bitterness. And sometimes it's teams. It's like people that drink coffee and those that drink instant coffee. They know the difference. When you want your coffee to steep, the aroma comes out. That's what happens in this industry. Sometimes when you trace these people, there is no origin of fight.
Yeah.
It's just
and sometimes even the fans,
somebody said she said something and everybody just
all of a
holds
sudden,
themselves.
And then the fans fuel.
Oh my God, yes. Some of them even start it. And they feel, yes.
Sometimes when
some of them will call your attention to something you never noticed.
A couple of films, I wasn't in it because sometimes I'm doing this regular work and I cannot expect them to hold their movie. Imagine if I'm on set this morning and I have Jasiri. So sometimes there are reasons why this. Do you know people went under that my comment and say, Funke, why did you not put Lolo in this film? Lolo, are you fighting Funke? Why did you post? I said.
And then some people will not just stop at question, or they will not answer. They'll be like, I think because maybe they're outshining each other, and then they will not be putting ideas in your mind. You're like, okay,
things that do not exist. Even you that they now said those things for you, start holding yourself.
Yes.
Because you don't know if
yes.
you start seeing things that were not
there.
You know how depressed I was last year. I didn't even post for anybody. I was just in a bad state. That you hate the world. I had no job. I was struggling. I thought that when I came back from America, banks were just going to give me money for films. And it didn't happen. Yeah. I was going through so much mentally. That many things were just happening over my head. Yeah. I didn't go for any. Once I think they were not inviting me to premieres, I'll tell myself that, what are you dressing up for? Don't you have anything? This year, no event this year. You have no nomination.
Yeah. And I really want to...
I don't remember my father have died. I'm an orphan. My mother have died. I have no husband. You start connecting things that are unconnected.
Yeah. So I really want to appeal to, especially the Nollywood industry, the music industry, and the BB Nigeria industry.
Oh, yeah.
This thing happens a lot where fans will fuel something that doesn't exist, but there's no communication. If you know that, even if you're not exactly in good terms, just try and talk to each other first before you just assume, and before you know everybody's enemies, and then this one said this one, I saw a video, I saw this, I saw that.
Men know how to slap themselves on the back.
But you can.
Yes, you
because
can.
Don't allow, because sometimes as well, this thing feeds you, right? Yes. Funke has responded.
Yes.
She's waiting for her response.
She said, Toyin, baby.
All the best, yeah.
Even this is not going to be enough for some people.
Some will say, no, that Toyin, baby. Why did she say
it sounded violent?
Everything that she said.
That is condescending. She put too long. Did she know she's married? Because she's no longer married. That's why she said her name. And she didn't put Ajewale. Oluwa dáríjì àwọn ọmọ rẹ̀. Honestly, Nollywood is something I take with a pinch of salt. A lot of times I'm invited to Owambes. All of you on this table know I'm Ijebu, but my ways are very different. I am not an Owambe lover. I will go if I'm emceeing an event or something, but sometimes they feel that see their friendships thrive in those circles. And instead of me being in those spaces, that's why I don't go.
If Fair says something about this circles, I think we might need to talk about that tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Anyway, sad to say.
What are we starting to? We're just, I don't know.
I'm not even, I'm lost.
You're the one even wearing green.
Yes.
Money is attracted to me. I'm, whatever, affirmation.
Flourish on all sides.
I flourish.
I attract
I
money.
bloom. I'm wearing yellow.
So after you wore pink and you made a lot of
Blessing,
money.
please take us out.
Sad to say, but we gotta go. That's all we can take on today's episode. Remember to stay tuned on Mondays to Fridays by 10 a.m. to see us bring you all the trending, thought-provoking, and hot conversations on television. From me and the ladies, and you fancy me, it's time to go. Goodbye. Bye.